start with when they arrive here. So they arrive here an early year. Actually, it's a little different on the north part. It's a few days later. We call it April 10th. And the older birds keep arriving until around May 4th or 5th. And then the second year birds, so the birds that were born last year, start arriving around May 15th. And it takes them about a month before the last females here. So June 15th, you would still see a late female migrant just arriving.
Do the males come first?
In the second year, usually. In the older birds, it's a mix. Sometimes, like I've often seen 2 females and a male, and sometimes I'll just see 4 males. So it's a jump ball.
Do they fly by themselves, or do they come in groups? Like,
small groups.
Okay.
And they migrate during the day, and it takes them. The fastest record is 13 days from the Amazon to here.
Wow.
We have mortality most years. We didn't this year because we didn't have any cold snaps, incredibly. But normally they have to endure at least 1 cold snap and sometimes 2. So 2017 we had 2 or 3, and last year we had a late one as well in May. And what happens is that some number of them starve, basically, because they're solely insectivores, high-level insectivore eaters, and there's nothing up there. They're just hanging out here with their wings hanging down. So that's why they come early. Now the second year birds takes them a little longer to figure out, and they start coming around May 15th. Now, of the birds that are born here or hatch here, max 20% will return here. 80% of them disperse. How do we know this? Well, through banding. And I was looking, I don't see any banded birds, but now they don't go far. They may go 30 miles that way or 30 miles that way, but they don't return to the colony they were born in. Makes total sense. And then the bulk of them, the eggs will appear about 8 days after that. 26 to 32 days for them to fledge. Once they fledge, they only hang around for a day or 2 and then they're gone. They take off to roosts, and they tend to move around. So for example, we had a roost at meacox for 2 years, and they roost in the reeds and all that sort of stuff. And you see them in the morning sitting on power lines, but that only lasted 2 years, so they found somewhere else. They'll find, I know on the north side of the South Fork, there's several spots where there's old dead tree stands, and you'll see them congregating around there. But that only lasts like 3 or 4 years, and then we pick another spot. Why do we do what we do in terms of monitoring and putting this all up? Well, when the first Europeans came here, they noticed that the forgot which tribe, the Indians, had these tees up with these natural gourds they were nesting in. And the north, for whatever reason, how it started, we don't know, what the folklore, but the birds were already beginning to transition from cavities in woods to man-made structures. And the Brits and then the other Europeans thought it was such a cool idea. Everybody started building these massive purple martin houses, and they fully transitioned to man-made housing. So what does that mean? Well, it means they're totally dependent on us. All martins east of the Rockies, except for some in Arizona, which still nest in cactus, depend on man-made housing. So if we took down all the housing, the population would collapse. I'll just leave this if you guys want to thumb through here. So we have obviously what they are, what the, male, female, different ages, wrestling. And
Does hatching year mean second year?
No, hatchling year is this year is bird of the year.
Because I see up there some with little that look like the hatchling, like this, with this sort of band around the neck.
What you're looking at right now is these ones, adult females. I was looking for a sub-adult female and I couldn't find one. I don't even see any sub-adult males, which is quite remarkable. There's usually 2 or 3 mixed in there somewhere. And maybe they're there, I'm just not seeing them. So Anyway.
Some adult males, basically mostly dark.
I don't think they would do this.
You actually sometimes you find the mothers still sitting on their eggs when you go and look. So some of them fly out and some just stay.
So here we have, this is just basic eggs, and this is the game they play. What do we got in there? Looks like 2, 4, probably 6 eggs. And they try and be sneaky by sticking, they pick little leaves off the trees and cover up.
Cover them.
Yeah, that's one of the ones. That's one of the ones that should have hatchlings, because they were more in there. They look like little marbles.
Now, who's sitting on the nest? There are no females?
No, what happens, only the female incubates, but if the female takes off, the male usually goes in and you'll just see him with his head hanging out, waiting for her to come back, waiting for instructions. So this is, to me, is no surprise because it looks out over the water. This would be a prime spot for competition.
It's the high rent.
Yeah.
This is just eggs, so 3, 6 eggs. Same game.
Did you
Not because I checked Tuesday. That was the last time. and there
So,
were no
but
eggs.
which was the one that laid an egg on June 1st?
Well, I only knew because I checked on the 30th and there were no eggs. There was one egg in number 2 that was buried underneath. Yes.
Today?
No, this was the 14th, on Tuesday. There's one egg in there.
There's a bird show over here.
Oh, it's gone.
The osprey.
Yeah, that's pretty
So, you have eggs in number 1. Well, the young are about 2, 3 weeks old.
3, 4, 9, 17, and 26 had babies apparently on the first egg on the first.
Sorry, which one?
Is this 26?
Yep, we got our first. She probably just hatched this morning. Oh, that's the mum in there.
That's what I'm
Sorry.
saying. That's what I'm saying. It's the mom and but these are the new ones.
Sorry, Mom, I didn't mean to shake you like that. Yeah, actually, these are probably 3 days old, it looks to me. See if we can get the sun. Where's the sun? One. You said the first. How many eggs were in this one?
What number is that?
27.
Oh my goodness.
18. Anybody else?
Can I just? There were 5.
5. June 1st, the 5th.
Hideous. Yes. You're not going to say less of a say the same
So I see 4 bills. There must have been 5 eggs in here. In fact, I think I see an egg. Was there 6 eggs in this one?
There were 5. You know, there might have been 6 sometimes there. Like
Yeah,
you
I
say,
think
they get
there's-
buried under the leaves, so there could have been more.
This one's going to have some dreams.
one. Just couldn't get out. We'd come out onto the little perch and cheat on it. It was getting like towards the end of August into September.
You can cheat a little bit.
How would we cheat?
Crickets.
Oh,
So
you
what
think it just needed more food? Or had a I wasn't sure if it had
there's always not always, but there's often a weakling in the group.
Yeah.
In particular, so say it's next year and it's May 1st. You have a good portion of your adults here, and there's a cold snap that's happening. So they have you'll know right away. They'll be sitting up there and their wings will be hanging down. In the freezer for about 9 minutes. It stuns them. They're still alive. They'll wake up after about 15 minutes. And you just get a spoon and just put them in the air. And it takes a while. They have to be hungry. And they'll watch. One guy will finally take it, and then another one. And once 2 or 3 do it, it's just
Did you check all of them? No. Okay, so maybe in a couple of days we'll do it. Okay.
That's not quite right, but it's close.
Yeah, I teach business and human rights.
How interesting.
And you live.
So we're keeping them alive. Isn't that something?
Yep.
Could I see the sheet that has the baby?
I meant to tell you, but I think when you had asked me about what's going on, I didn't realize you were doing pet speech. I didn't realize you've been monitoring pet speech.
Yeah, I'm going to do battle.